Hi, good morning. I only have a few minutes. My daughter's picking me up going on a field trip with the kids to some gardens. Some I can't remember. So I just wanted to come in case I didn't have the chance to come later, and just share a story about my dad. This is the day my dad died in 2011. Yeah, I can say that. I can say that for a long time. My dad and I are just so close. I worked with him. He was my hero. He's such a good dad, and he was like a dad to other people too. He had dry cleaners. I grew up in this business, so we had Merck Park. That was Maury Will Stolen Base dry cleaners. That was the first dry cleaners, and I was like 5 or 6 working there. That was huge in Leimert Park there at Degnan, and I just remember, and I think we went to summer school over there, and there was a Y over there that we would go, and we learned to sew, or my sisters were sewing. I think I was too young to go to that. Whatever I could go to, though, they put me in dance class and all kinds of stuff. They tried so hard. My dad's from South Carolina, and my mom, and he wanted to have a better life. He had this dream for us, and but he's a singer, a musician, singer, and he loved to sing. And he wrote, and he sung. Wow, what a great songwriter! And with a third grade education, from what he said, but my uncle Sonny says he went to school further than that. I don't know, fifth grade. I don't know. Anyway, I remember he would always read the newspaper. He read the Bible through and through. He was like a scholar. This man. Um, yeah, and he just loved us so much. He never left us. Never. And my mother had a lot of issues because, I mean, she looks white. So she's one of 13. And so 10 of the 13 don't look white. They look dark. And so 3 of them, she and 2 brothers, were very white. My grandmother really had it rough, but I remember meeting her, and she was so magical. She lived to be 104, my grandmother. 104. She would sit there and be like, dance, baby, big dance. And she used to eat onions, onion sandwiches, onion with ketchup. She'd drink her um, coffee out the saucer. Anyway, I really love this woman. Hey, she had a boyfriend when she passed at 100 and something. Her boyfriend was like 60 something. So, but she went through a lot. My mother saw her, get um, raped, but she was in the cornfields or whatever fields. So she would laugh and say, "Go on, go, baby, go." And and then my mother told me a few years back about her mother talking to God. She was so embarrassed because her mama used to talk to the guy, used to talk to the plane. Heck, if somebody was raping me, I'd be talking to all kind of stuff. Shoot, I don't think I could have survived. I'm so glad I was not born then. This is enough right now. But having to have been born back then, I could survive. God knows. God bless my dad. My dad was a very kind man, but he was disciplined because he was angry too. I mean, I wrote a story about him. He loved his mom. He loved his family. He was such a good boy. My uncle Sonny was a bit of a rascal. His older brother, my dad was the youngest, and his sister was the oldest. This Aunt B, so sweet. She can bake and cook. I probably have her physique or whatever. I don't know. She was a little lady, but built and very sweet. Talked real fast. She called me California. But she loved her little brother. She loved her big brother. But Uncle Sonny and Aunt B really, well, Uncle Sonny just didn't appreciate B. Why? Something to do with her husband. Who knows? He never got married. He was something else. Anyway, my dad, though, sweet little angel, he enrolled in the military. He got in there early. I mean, I guess that's what they did back then to try and make it and make a life for themselves, you know. So he was an Air Force police, and my mom and him met because my uncle, my mom's brother, one of the ones that are, and I mean, they would watch out for my mom. She's really feisty and mean, and I guess she'll probably live to be 100 and something too, because that woman, she's had corona, and she's fine. She's fine, okay? Ain't nothing. Just the good Lord, when he's ready or when she's ready to go, that's when, it's going to happen for her. She is tough as nails, and she was not all that nice. Sometimes, I mean, she had a good heart. She'd give you the coat off her back or money out of her pocket. I mean, she was such a giver in that way, and such a beautiful homemaker. And she is a beautiful woman, but she was hard. And so I get a little bit of that, enough to, do what I gotta do. But my dad and I were so close, and he was always telling me about being a lady. And don't let a man call you this or that, like certain name, broad, no, only anything but only lady. And, walking, he always had to walk on the outside of me. He always had to open my car door. Oh, God, I would be like, Daddy, can we just come on? Let's go. He's like, yeah, baby. This whole thing. And so, and then I heard stories of him, and it's the same. And, I thought he was just, which there's five of us. There's five of us. So how could he just be mine? But he made all of us feel that way, And he would, even his grandkids said the same story, how he would come miles and miles to come pick them up when they were stranded. It didn't matter, midnight or whatever. I mean, my brother called him many times he came, many times he took different, my dad's different trucks, vehicles, money, checks, and wrote, I mean, my brother. And then my dad had to be disciplined with him. I remember being with him one time going to Hollywood to go meet my brother on one of his, like, I need help, I want to come home. Maybe he's saying that to just get the help. But when he got there, the Burger King up there near Hollywood High School, on Hollywood near Vine or Hollywood and somewhere. Anyway, um, he wouldn't get in the car. He wouldn't come. He wanted money. Okay, well, just give me money. And Daddy's like, no, I got food for you. You can come home with me. I'll take you, get you help, get you back on your feet. But I'm not giving you any money, man. Daddy said all this mean, horrible stuff. Daddy just took it. He just said, no, man, no. You can take this food. I'm not going to give you any money. But you can come home. Feed you. I'll take care of you. Get you help. He wouldn't come. And my dad wrote this song. And it goes a little something like this. Father, bring my prodigal home. He's been gone away much too long. Yeah, he's been stuck in the muck and marrow of the hog pen of sin. Father, bring my prodigal home. I got a robe for his back and shoes for his feet, a ring for his finger, fatted calf for a feast. To rejoice, I know you'll bring my boy home. Bring him home. Bring him home. Whoa, yeah. He's been gone away much too long. Yeah. He's been stuck in the muck and marrow of the hog pen of sin. Father, bring my prodigal home. I know he's in Sing Sing for trying to sell cocaine. And I know he knows that sin has its price to pay. You told me give you my cares, and I know you'll answer my prayers. So put my boy back on the right track, I pray. Father, Father, bring my prodigal home. Bring my prodigal home. He's been gone away much too long. Yeah, he's stuck in the muck and marrow of the hog pen of sin. Father, bring my prodigal home. I've got a robe for his back and shoes for his feet, a ring for his finger, fatted calf for feet to rejoice. I know you'll bring my boy home. Bring him home. Bring him home. And oh, yeah. He's been gone away much too long. Yeah. Jimmy Phillips. That's my daddy's song he wrote for my brother. It makes me cry. It's helped many people on their journeys with their kids or their prodigals, which it doesn't have to be a child, though it was written for my dad's son. We all have prodigals. I mean, I've had different prodigals in my life, and they've come back. And I hope my dad's being in heaven can help him get his son home. I know right now he's in a shelter. Got a message that I'm in the shelter. Him and the baby's mama. But I've had this baby since she's 2 weeks. And it's really, hard to keep her away from them. So shout out to any foster parents, any people taking someone else's child and loves them like your own. Shout out my dad. We had a dry cleaners, right? So that one time in Inglewood there on Van Ness and 79th, that was Conway Cleaners. That was right after we left Lewis Cleaners. Lewis Cleaners was after Rory Wills Cleaners. The last Cleaners was on El Segundo and Van Ness, where White Castle was. Right now there's a donut place over there. But I'm speaking of specifically when we had the dry cleaners there, 89th in Van Ness, how he impacted that city, that town, this dry cleaning man who was really an evangelist. I mean, he loved God. Is what helped him so much on his journey. He I might probably got sidetracked talking about my grandmother, but I just want to say quickly how he got some of his discipline because he had to go to jail when he was about 15 or so. How did he? I think that's how because his finger had been cut off, but then they sewed it back on, so he couldn't really bend it like this. He only bent it like that. But he taught himself to play the guitar, the piano, all kind of stuff. But back to where he went to jail because his mother, back then, I see pictures now, so it kind of looks like that where you see she's a dark skinned Cherokee mixed woman, or I don't know, but beautiful hair, whatever, and tied with her hair up like that, sort of like I say ancient mom, but that's but anyway. And so she's out there washing these clothes, by hand with this washing board of this tub. And I mean, she would get the sheets white. I mean, sparkly white. Daughter's going to be here soon. I better multitask. So the bull, though, Mr. Ray Blair's bull, would come and knock her clothes off the clothesline. And had him and his mother would have to, again, wash these clothes. And he just was so tired of seeing his mother have to wash these clothes and get on her hands. And so he chopped the bull's foot off. Oh, he went to jail, and somehow they chopped his finger. Oh, Daddy. Ow. Anyway, it was with the love. He just loved his mother and didn't want to. So I was kind of thinking about that this morning because the things we do for the people we love, if we don't catch our emotions, I mean, we would, And so I know a year ago I didn't do that, but I did that with my words. I mean, I was just out of it. But so he had to go to jail, and then he was just the big muscles, so handsome, grayish out of eyes with this beautiful reddish brown skin. Mm, my daddy was beautiful. And inside and out. And so then he would take in the boys from the street and give them a job, pay him $1, whatever. He couldn't really afford much. My brother did out of his drugs and stuff, and got on drugs in the church parking lot. Christians in the parking lot. Somebody had some drugs, came up in there. They were running the parking lot up there, and somebody came with some drugs, and then all these fellas got on drugs. It was just horrible, just horrible. All kinds of stuff going on. Because people weren't at home. They're spending too much time at church. There has to be a balance. My dad had us at work with him. Other than that, he was at home. When we were at church, we were with him at church. He brought us to church. He found the church we were going to. He would go and search. What a good daddy. Thank you, Dad. I hope you just know that these are doing me well. See, I'm doing so much better. He wouldn't go for these cards, I don't think. Well, he didn't go for a lot of stuff. But he knew I was prophetic, which now it's called psychic or it's a label. And he told me to work on it. So I'm working on it, Daddy. It took a while. Um, what else? So, yeah, my dad, his birthday's April 29th, but he passed August 7th, 2011. And it's interesting, up the street there's this park, and they just had planted these plants there. So I want to go by and look at them today because they have grown. So I couldn't walk back. I couldn't even walk down the street past those plants. I couldn't. I was crying all the time. I just couldn't help it. Crying for months and months and months and months. I couldn't even hear his name. Nobody could even say, "Daddy, your dad." I couldn't even. Oh Lord. And then I think it was hard. It's harder with my sister, how I reacted. Yeah, because you know what? We're good people. My sister and my dad are such good people. People would take advantage or talk mess and, call them simple. You need to be a little more simple. How about that? Anyway, so my daddy, and he's a singer, go look up his song, She Belongs to Me, because it's on YouTube. A lot of people love it. And it went for like $1,000 on eBay or something. The 45. And I know he's just so happy about that because he was really tried really hard to make it for us. And then some people were still in the song, Joe Tex, I don't know, ASCAP, blah blah, some crap. And but he taught us about music and writing songs. He taught us to sing. We had a singing group. Um, my dad. So I wanted to tell a story about that, and let's read about his birthday. This is my little fortune telling book. So I'm gonna go about, let's see. So let's go to April. May, June. There we go. April 29th, Daddy. Daddy's a Taurus, the Hierophant. Is that the Hierophant card? I think so. Yeah, the Hierophant card. And my grandmother, May 4th, she's a Hierophant card too. I know he didn't send her. She's got these grayish, brownish, whatever eyes, and she's just so sweet. I just love her so much. I'm so grateful. Also, my brother-in-law, he died at 21. My daughter's named after him. She's so 30 something years ago. He had gray eyes, and he was such a good uncle. Loved my son so much. My daughter wasn't. I was pregnant with her when he passed. So sad, John. How you doing when he died at 21? Oh, that was the first time I ever experienced really pain about somebody dying. Somebody that close ever died to me. And then since then, I mean, it's not like I've had a whole lot, but the people that have passed are like, it's people that it hurts so bad. My niece and my nephew. All right, back to daddy. But so then my dad went after them. So then we felt a little better that, they were together. And now my sister, and she gone. I miss her, but to know that they were all together, that's great. And then their father passed a few months after her, like her ex-husband. So then that's, and I just know my sister already had said that, she was going to do all kind of stuff to us and mess with us. Yeah, she loved her family. She loved us so much. She would always reply on my Facebook, every comment, every picture. She would say, my beautiful sister, my beautiful niece, my beautiful nephew. And she would comment, I love you and love you guys. And, oh my God, if I ever needed anything, she was there. She's so smart, sophisticated, stylish. She, she used to fight for us. Child, ooh, and she got disciplined. Isn't that funny? Because people were picking us. We were Catholic school kids in this neighborhood with the Crips and the Pyru and the this and that. My sisters used to go to dances, Mount Carmel, these other Catholic schools, and they would come home all their glasses broke or bloody nose because it would be some sort of breakout of some crap back in the 70s. And so, and then I remember, I guess, our house getting egged. We had a bunch of beautiful, my sisters are beautiful, beautiful people. And so our windows, house got egged or something. So then they made it hard for me. And then I couldn't have a boyfriend. It was all these rules. So I had to sneak. Then I got really good at sneaking it when I got to high school. That's how my brother and him were like this, but my brother did not want me to meet him. I met him on a whim, like the twins, these twins that I had. They were good friends with my brother. Everybody loved my brother because my brother used to hook them all up and get them lunch and take care of them, like my dad, I guess. Yeah, he used to give parties up in Hollywood with Terry. Louis Gray Productions guy, that guy, boy, he took advantage of these young guys. Louis Gray, even my husband, he took advantage of him because he had the connections with the, alcohol for the party because his dad had a liquor store. And then my brother that talked to anybody had to give. I mean, he was in with the Russians, with everybody. My brother's something else. Now come on home, fool. Oh, oh, I've been like a brother to him more than he's been a brother to me. Okay, and that's anyway. I gotta balance my male and female out. Okay, back to my dad's birthday. April 29th. You are cautious, yet shrewd, positive, and intuitive. But sometimes people take advantage of you. In spite of these qualities, you always want to act on your intuition, but your cautious nature holds you back. Wow. causing a constant dispute within you. You are sensitive and easily offended. Oh, that is so true. Oh my God. Because my dad with those records, like he wouldn't give them, he wouldn't let them go anymore because he wouldn't. They held him back. They took his songs. Some people stole them. Even now, there's some song by that no man, I think you're crazy. Some song. Yeah, there's a beginning of some song. Every time I hear it, I start singing my dad's song. So it does sound like, but they put these songs on the shelf for some crap or something, blah blah. Then I guess they come and pick it and take it. But they want need a sound. They need a new sound. So then they went to back to my dad had was the '60s. He's in the '60s. I mean, he was friends with Sam Cooke and lots of them. I remember going to the studios with him, going to practice, playing the tambourine, touching the drums. I played the clarinet. Not that I really wanted to. I like the flute, but why I had to play? Why I chose the clarinet? Maybe that's what we had. I don't know. But I'm so grateful for my dad. But yeah, I was sensitive too because I remember towards him living on his own. He and my mom would separate me back together. I mean, it started. And I tried to get them back together at the end, and my dad was like, "Oh no, he had so Ruby, Ruby, Ruby." Okay, but I remember her dyeing her hair blonde, and he told me, "Tell your mom to dye her hair. She don't need to be blonde. She needs to put her hair back dark." And he was an older man, and I was like, I told her anyway. But yeah, then he got Alzheimer's, and my sister dropped him off for a visit to her. She was in Santa Clarita at the time. And she said, my mom remembers that now, how such a great time they had that last time together. And, you know, they love each other. It was just life and all of this stuff got in the way. Choices, bad decisions, not working together, not compromising, not seeing the other's point of view, not looking from a higher perspective, not seeing the other person for who they are and accepting them and seeing their role in everything. That's what caused them to stay apart. But they always had love for each other. And of course, they were always there for each other. But my dad just, that Ruby. He was bald right here, I think, from just rubbing his hair. So there was a pistol, a firecracker. Beautiful, sexy woman. And she was on medicine because even after me, she had like a rough, had a few miscarriages. So she was on medication. And then she would drink beer or alcohol, then it would intensify or whatever. I remember having to run home, make sure my mom was okay. I would call the Zodiac back then, I thought, recently. So I guess I've always had a propensity towards, um, spirit, astrological, or feeling the connection to it. Because I used to call all the time. I don't remember the number now, but I used to. I would call the time all the time too. I would call the time all the time, and I would call the astrology. I'd come home. Sometimes my mother wouldn't be cognate. I'd have to call the ambulance. Be scared that she wasn't gonna wake up. I guess all the things that she's gone through that I don't know about. I only learned a little bit about that. But I remember my dad saying, or somebody saying, like, it was like, and I don't think they, oh, look at it, went right to Taurus. Oh my goodness. Like it wasn't like, they didn't want him to marry my mom, let's say. Okay. But he was in love with my mother. He just thought she was so beautiful. He loves pretty things, beautiful things. So let's read about this. Earth, bull, neck, throat. Venus, love, okay. 4, 6, 7, 8. Those are the lucky numbers. Um, Lucky colors: cream, green, orange, red, yellow. Lucky gemstones: coral, emerald, jade, sapphire, and that's something. My niece is it's my grandbaby. Her name's Sapphire. Interesting. And she's a Taurus. And turquoise. Oh, I love turquoise. Okay. Lucky flower: lily of the valley. Lucky day of the week: Friday. Today, Friday. What? Most compatible with Virgo and Capricorns. Oh my God. He would get along with my little Capricorns then. My grandson and my baby, my niece, she's Capricorn. They're born just 2 days apart. Those my grandson and she. So funny. They're so much alike. They just love each other. They keep each other's secrets. They have this eye that I saw them because oh my God, there was a thing the other day. It just stressed me out. I was just me and my daughter. I don't even think about it. It makes me so nervous. But they were looking at each other like, don't tell, don't tell. And he wouldn't tell. And I know how to get the truth, different ways you can get the truth. Just stay calm and ask questions. Okay, you can get the truth will come out. But yeah, so Capricorns, that's interesting. And my guy is a Cuthbert Aquarius and Capricorn. Oops. And least compatible, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. He did tell my dad because my guy went to him to ask him for my hand in marriage back here. My sister told me because she was with him in the store. Yes, it was after church because he would only go. He only went to church a few times, and I think I probably told him come to church, and this is how he will accept you. Oh my God, it was so hard dating and growing up in the household. Ooh, my mother told on me. I got a spanking when I was 17. Okay, 17, because I wanted to get a ride home at my cheerleading outfit. It was raining. And I needed to get a ride home. I was out there on the bus. I didn't have an umbrella, my hair and everything. But my dad had said, don't get a ride home by no boy. Don't be getting a ride home. Just thought, nobody's going to see. Just drop me off down the street here. My mother happened to be going to the mailbox. And she saw. And then she had nerve, it was herself. She had the nerve to tell on me. And she, as much as she's done. Oh, and all I did was try to get her. She told on me and said, baby, this hurts me as much as it's going to hurt you, but I have to keep my word. I'm a man of my word. Daddy, no, if it's going to hurt you, don't do it. It's okay. I won't do it anymore. It was just raining or whatever. Baby, no. This man had to whoop me. He got, never with his hand. He'd get the belt. Anyway, that was the last. Okay. Okay, that was the last. Okay. But I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that I worked in that our dry cleaning business. It kept me out of a lot of trouble. Yes, because I love to kiss. I wanted to kiss. This whole kissing thing was very nice. And so who knows? Thank God. Thank God. Okay. Let's see, what else? Okay, Taurus key traits. You are loyal, dependable, and patient. The simple pleasures of life suit you well, and you are known to be generous, absolutely, but mind your own stubborn streak and your possessiveness, yeah, possessive tendencies. They can get you into hot water. Knowing how to get to let go will be a valuable skill for you. And yeah, that probably was part of because he would be like he even okay. So my guy went to him in the store to ask him in marriage, and I guess he told him, yeah, but if you have hurt her, you're gonna have to deal with me. And I guess he said it so seriously, but I would never tell my dad anything if we got into it, even though I did run home a couple times. I ran home a couple times But I think it was because he was, on something, and I was just a church girl, just some innocent church girl that was in love with this little bad boy. But really, he didn't mess around with God, As far as that, he did go to church. He would still go to church. Come to find out, but he doesn't say he's a Christian unless he is. He doesn't mess unless he is. His dad is religious about his food and all that. He doesn't do all that, but he just maybe he thinks because of his ways that he could be a sinner. But he's really I've learned so much from him just being such a fair person and loving and respecting God to not disrespect to say that he is a Christian like some of these people that he's seen. Friend who's seen his can preach and say all this stuff and then he does all this cheating and all this other stuff, but mainly it's a lot of womanizing. Oh, happens. So, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Go a little farther. Doesn't Oh, I said I was going to read about today. Because today also happens to be a day. I had quite a few people who had this birthday, and I knew my dad was going to die on this day. I just knew it. I'd gone to, first of all, I had woken up. Look at this piece of hair back here. I got to get my hair done again. I woke up in July crying. July, not this July, but it was it was like around the 1st of July or something, 2011. Um, and I woke up crying, and then I had to go see my dad because he was in South Carolina at that point. Long story. Um, but so at the time, I really didn't have a lot of money. I separated from my guy, and um, I was living. Not was I living here? Yeah, I was living here, managing here. So, um, just been here for not too long, probably. And so I woke up crying, and I called my sister. I have to come. I gotta come. I gotta come see Daddy. Can you send me a ticket? And she was saying, yes, baby girl, sure. Just got me a ticket. And I got there, and I was there for like 2 weeks. And they kept saying, do you want to resuscitate and this and that? That's the picture in my thumbnail. I was trying to show you this picture because my sister sent me these pictures about a week ago. And it was in the hospital with him. And she had taken these pictures of me with him. And I had only seen the pictures I didn't like, because she had posted these other ones on Facebook, and I don't like to see him looking like that. He would not like that. He would not want to be in no home. Nobody want changing no diaper, doing none of that. My daddy would not want that, but I would have kept him here. I would have had him stuffed and put on the wall. My sister is the one. She is the one for people, for everybody that is dying. This one sister I have that's in South Carolina at our property, whatever, our land. Thank God we have some land. She's in charge of. I can't be in South Carolina. Hi, Daddy. Oh, I miss you, Pop. There's this huge mole on his cheek. That's how I could identify him when he was passed. This is me and my dad. Yeah. I love him so much. I would have crawled inside. I did crawl in that bed several times. Crawled in there with him and just hugged him and said, sorry for getting here so late. Oh, and then I remember him saying, like, really slow. And I remember him looking over to the window and saying, what? Grandma? Are you here, Grandma? Like, don't take it. But I thought he was going to live. I thought I could be there and just love him enough and give him enough hugs. We moved him to another place because they weren't taking care of him, and these people were taking gold teeth out of his mouth. People. Oh, these people should be working in a elderly home, still taking stuff from him, taking some clothes, and I don't know, some other stuff. With his teeth, gold teeth in his mouth. They took his gold teeth. Anyway, he would have gave them to him. He would have said, "Oh, these you want them? I don't need them anymore. You need them that bad. Here, my dad." All right. So I woke up crying and I had to get him and I called my sister and she sent me a ticket and we had a really good time making stuff and painting her house and going to see my dad and taking him food and cutting his hair and just seeing all his kinfolks and where he grew up and hearing stories and my mom and my ancestors and being on that land that my ancestors are and seeing the other land and the house, this little bitty wood house shack thing that they and I've been in that house, but it just didn't seem like it was that small and tiny. It's so interesting. Your roots. My uncle went and took us to the Cherokee graveyard where our ancestors were, and I was like, whoa! And there's red dirt there, and he would not leave us alone because of all the it's just lots of spirits down there. That's I think that when there's these tornadoes and things like that, I think it's in those states where there was so much pillaging and raping and killing, so much slave blood, so much. I think the Cherokees took in the blacks because why is there was a lot of Cherokee in there. So yeah, I saw it right there in South Carolina. So I think they took a lot of them in. Um, So yeah, I went down there. Was able to see him. Stayed down there at least 2 weeks. Had to come back and build my building. But my boss was so nice. She's like, "Oh, Patty, you're such a good daughter. I know how close you are to your father. So, so I knew I could take as much time as I want because I think I took a total of like a month off. I don't know. I just knew it was okay, and I had to do what I had to do because I came back after 2 weeks, and then he passed away the next week. But I got to see my nephew being born. Well, I could have gone in there, but that wouldn't have been right. So that was on the first trip because on the way back to the airport, it was July 15th he was born. So it was 2 weeks later my dad died. But then the funeral was like sometime after that. We had to get it all together. And thank God for Philly, somebody helping to pay. Everybody kind of pitched in to pay for my dad's funeral. I don't know what happened with all that. My sister and the money doesn't always go well. Woo. Anyway, um, that's a little bit too much information. But so here's August 7th. You have a nice sense of humor and can appreciate a joke even at your own expense. Although proud, you have a. Hear this girl singing in here. Her dad hate her grandpa. She never even met him, and she just loves him. And plus, of course, I don't let her forget about him. I just remind her of who everyone is. She loves to sing and dance and perform. Okay. So anyway, um, back to the people born on August 7th, the day my daddy died. Although proud, you have a strong, winning personality. You're energetic and original, and are most happy when solving some problem. You are not demonstrative, but you are capable of a deep and true love. Oh, so you don't demonstrate your emotions, but you're okay. So right now I know who my nephew Marlon and Autumn and Jovan, born on August 7th. Those were see, Autumn is a really dear friend of mine. Adrian, went to Santa Monica College, her daughter. And I never meet a person that's not become my family, right? If I really love you. So they were like family. I mean, they lived with me after the Olympics. The what was that? Um, Earthquake. The Northridge earthquake. Their place was like really damaged, thank God. They were okay. But yes, they came and stayed with me for a while. That was so fun. And Jovan is exes of mine. And one of me and my guy, we always separated. We would come back together, separate because he's my twin. But I know he's my twin because he's always there for me. Always there for me. Always there for me. And now he makes me, he doesn't make me, but it causes me, he inspires me to be a better person. It might not be inspired by, it might be inspired by a tower or him just, telling me the truth. Um, and he's grown a lot because of our love, and he appreciates it. And I know he doesn't say it very much. He will, if but he doesn't really like to say it. He's a king of swords, kind of rigid with it, but he is Capricorn also, so he is a loving, sweet man. And he's really good to my mom. Like he looks out for her. He goes and gets her everything she wants. She's in this place, but she will call him and he'll go get her popcorn, chocolates, anything. Like mother, they'll call me from there. When your mother asks for this, what kind does she like? And this, will she eat this? Because she's very particular about her. This she shouldn't even be having the stuff, but he can't not get it for her. She's always been there for him, and he's always been there for her. That's the kind of guy he is, and that's why he's my twin. And he asks me now with this girl because him and my brother were friends, like I said, first, and so we have my brothers, and so she's our baby. But um, so he'll say, "How was your dad? What would your dad do? Would your dad do this?" Because he knows how great a dad my dad and how much I love my dad, and he wants her to love him like that. That's cute. So he'll say, "Would your dad do this, or what would he do? Would he do this?" Oh, it's so sweet. That makes up for the stuff you don't say. And I know he loves me and stuff, so I can just be who I want to be and say what with respect. Always with respect. It's how you say it, not what you say, mainly how you say it. It is what you say. Don't say anything if you want to manifest positivity. You always, you want a positive relation, you want a loving relationship, you kind of manifest it, because there was a time when we were separated. We really can't stay away from each other because then I would like miss him, but I didn't want the physical. I just wanted a hug. So I would just be like at night, and he would be wherever he was. I just want a hug. I just want a hug. I don't want all the sex or none of that. I just want a hug from a man because my dad was gone and all that, and there was no man. I wouldn't even let men get close to me because that was my guy. I don't need all that. Even I did date for a little bit in the beginning of our one breakup because I was hurt so bad by what the heck transpired. And I really didn't think I was going to get back together ever with him. Never. But it just happens. Every 7 years that we've made it through. Well, no, because we separated like a year ago because when my sister passed, like I said, I didn't. But necessary because it's helped us in our relationship. And I know how much he loves me, you know. And then family knows how much I care for him. And it has nothing to do with sexual sex, you know. Though that's great, you know, that's not ever been a problem. Um, it's just the love and him being able to say it, you know, but this man will cry. And he's such a great friend. But he is growing up in the fact that he's letting go a lot of things that are not serving him well. And he's telling people the truth. He just has to watch how he says it. Sometimes he's just too harsh. But my dad did like him. My dad gave him a job back when he got kicked out of his house for some reason or another. And he needed to make money because, yeah, this came from a family business too. And so he got kicked out the house and he wasn't working with the family. And he needed to make money. He had a car and everything. So my dad gave him a job, the dry cleaners, doing fucking fall. Well, he picked up a gig. He hustled. That's what he did. And my dad dry cleaned some of his stuff, and he got to wash the stuff down there. And he got to use the and he would fluff and fall for his friends, high roller friends, whatever. He'd find all kind of stuff in their pockets. But yeah, so he did like him. But oh my god! And then my dad would have perk spills. Sometimes perk is what cleans the clothes. It's gas, which is what cleans the clothes, and sometimes it would either something get clogged up or whatever. My dad was like a mechanic or whatever, so he'd try to fix it himself, not call somebody. And he'd be high in the parking lot, so the donut shop or somebody. Your dad's in the parking lot. He had a perk spill, something. He's out there, and so one day, Sonny came and he drove me there, and we went to go help my dad do this. And we were all then just tipsy at the end, trying to clean up this whatever. Oh my God. So I wouldn't let him drive all the way back home, and we didn't live far from the dry cleaners. So I was like, no, you just come here and you just take a sleep, you know. But then when my dad got home, he was still there asleep. My dad had a fit, telling him it was his castle, and this and that, and blah, blah. You know, stay here. And I was like, Dad, but but my dad was scared. I guess he thought we had done the funny business. We didn't do no funny business. Anyway, I think we were that stupid. No, he was asleep. Um, so my dad had come home, and yeah, and then so Sonny was like saying, "I can't wait to get my own castle. I'm gonna get my own castle." I remember him saying, "See, I'm the king of this castle. This is my castle," and he got that from my dad. So yeah, that's my story. I'm sticking to it, and I thank you for whoever you are watching for 54 minutes and 15, 16, 17 seconds. Okay. So thank you so much. And why don't you send somebody to like, share, and subscribe to me on my channel? Okay. So there's the story of Jimmy Phillips, James Randolph Phillips Sr. Okay. Bye bye.